Hey there, Dango Stu here. Today's video is about doing some mobile mechanical jobs around the river and is proudly sponsored by marineengine.com. A couple of days each week, Adrian and I have been doing some mobile mechanical work together, so I thought it'd be nice to sort of do a video of what an average week is like. So let's go back to that week and see what happened. I am about to go and take the gearbox off a boat that's sitting in Brooklyn, so I am just grabbing what I think I'll need. Maybe need a couple of screwdrivers, needle nose, pliers, and some spanners. So we'll just take this roll, it's not carrying too much. Anyway, we're going to head over there, get the gearbox, pick up Adrian, come back to Renko, then we're driving over to Mooney to diagnose a mate's boat that has a Detroit in it. So let's get to Brooklyn. There's no power to this outboard yet. So I'm thinking I might be able to do the bypass and just lift it up. It's not a very big outboard. Otherwise we're not going to slide the gearbox off without it hitting the ground. Oh yeah. As we were discussing last live stream, it's not the hours that gets these boats, it's the salt. Definitely looks like it needs a new electric motor for the trim tilt. The reason I'm taking this gearbox off is just to do the impeller, and the main reason I'm doing that is because this outboard's a complete unknown quantity, hasn't been run for a long time, and if the impeller's brittle and you start it up, bits and pieces go through the cooling system and you're in a world of hurt. There's no point starting it up and then going, oh, the impeller's perished, I better replace it, because you don't just have to replace it, you've got to take the power head off, find the bits of broken impeller, all that kind of stuff. So much easier just to do it first. I think I'll undo this shift linkage before we take the final bolts out. Alright, gearbox in reverse now, so we've just undone the locking nut. Then we're going to wind this collar up to disconnect. What's great is Yamaha have put this little moulding here just to make sure you can't swing your spanner. That's quite handy. Alright, here we go. Let's take it back to Renko and do the impeller. Gonna have a bite to eat and wait for Adrian at King Tide Cafe here. King Tide's actually one of the channel patrons. Coming up to Marmwood. What are we doing, Adrian? I can't even remember.
Just picked up a little bit of water, some solar panels on, or a solar panel back on the weekend. And
solar panel and grab a pump.
grab a pump, yeah. You can even see like new lights on the roof.
Oh, right. Oh, well, let's have a look at this. Hang on. You've been working hard.
New backboard.
Did you grab that roll of white wire? Did you?
No, I didn't, but I had enough on the boat.
Okay, cool. Oh, look at your little antenna too.
You've got a little AM FM radio so we can dancing music on the back deck.
Very good. Mate, look at your lights. How good are they?
Yeah, a bit sexy, aren't they?
Certainly are. Very nice.
So even put some fancy water go in the roof devices.
Oh, you've nailed it.
So yeah, so there are a little hook. So now I've got to just put the master headlight.
Mask back on for your mast light.
Yeah, I've got new intake doobies too.
Ah, right. The funnels.
The funnels. Look at that.
Yeah, that's good progress.
We've had a mess of the roof and the wiring inside.
Oh, okay.
Now we're getting there.
Excellent. No, that's great progress. Oh, it looks much better in here.
Well, look at the birds. It was there. There's now sort of
Yeah,
not so
it's
bad.
much neater. Yeah. It's nice ripping out all the old wiring, that's for sure.
Yeah, so that's the
Yeah, your little controller.
little controller. So yeah, so I've got two.
Yep.
So I'll have another set of panels up, and I'll put the two of them. Sit on the dashboard there. I can see them.
Yeah, keep an eye on them. Having electricity is just so important. I reckon you've made the right decision putting solar on like really early on.
Yeah. And look, most important, somewhere to do the paperwork.
Solar power and a porta potty.
What more could you ask for?
We're going to assemble the new toy.
So this is part of sort of the new addition to what we're going to do, I guess.
Yeah, well, it'd be good for salvage stuff. Oh, it comes with free money.
Free money. Oh, where did that come from?
Seriously, yeah. That's pretty funny.
Where did that come from? Thread tape.
Yes.
Or what, liquid one.
Oh, yeah, either. So...
Oh, this'll do. See this bag here, Stu?
Yeah, it should be all in there.
I think it's in the bottom here, mate.
This one,
I just organised this one.
Yeah.
This is a high performance one.
Oh, good.
So
I normally buy the low performance one.
this is the one they used to build the Interceptor with.
Yes. That's the one they used to do the O-rings on the Challenger.
Yep. So this is just a liquid thread tape. It's a lazy man's thread tape.
Yeah.
But
well, though.
it works well.
Yeah.
That's the wrong end. This one's for the pump. This one goes up the innie valve of the pump. So it's a 12 volt pump. So if you hook it up to 24, it'll go faster.
Excellent.
Oh, look at that. It comes with a nice stainless steel bracket.
I love the way they made this stainless steel out of anodized.
Yeah, I know. We had to. This is not how you do hose clips up.
I love your technique.
Yeah, we had to replace one. We had a dicky clamp.
It's all right. Done.
So eBay got us on a clamp.
But
We'll see what happens. Really, in all at the end of the day, it's...
130 Australian
Yep.
for pickup.
Should we see how it goes?
Yeah, why not? There, thanks. Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Sounds like a air raid siren. Okay. Access.
I reckon the end will probably... I think we might put a strainer in the middle of it. We'll make a white strainer to go on in the
that
pump.
sounds a good idea.
That way then the end of the hose can be anything it wants. I'll put the black on the red on the black.
Given it's guaranteed not to be rated for petrol, oh, look at that.
The goal here with this job is to drain the water-contaminated fuel in the tank from when the boat sunk and replace it with fresh fuel.
There'll be that much fuel in here.
You might just need to switch. Oh, I can stop it here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's true. Do you have a click on the nozzle or not? Yeah, right. So it just holds pressure. So that should click off with a pressure pump eventually.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Give
cool.
it a go, see what it does.
All right. On.
Got the pressure. Is that? Don't tell me that's it. Seriously? 5 litres?
Right, we're back in action. Or water or diesel, yeah.
In the background here, you can see them putting a new sleeve on one of the piles in the public wharf. It had been worn through by the sponsor of the ferry.
Go, look, no. Just give it like that, and then go.
It's all
Okay.
nice, mate. All right. Adrian's fuel delivery service. Apart from that, why is that not filling? Is it too fast, do you reckon?
I don't know.
Try again.
It was going alright. Yeah, just too fast, or maybe.
It's quick. Oh. Then it gets pressure behind it.
Well, I could just tie the harness there with a cable tie out the window.
So they must both be completely blocked because this side's still, there's one on both sides.
Yeah. I don't think it'd take much to clean it up.
I should take it with us for now. And
Maybe just blow it out with blow it and wash it with some compressed air.
yeah. No.
That's all it is.
Yeah, gotcha. Only 2 holes on it too.
Yeah, I was struggling to blow through it.
So, question is, do we grab the one from this side too?
The next step with this job is to replace both the breathers for this underfloor fuel tank. We had a bit of a chat in one of the live streams about the dangers of these fuel tanks, so I think it's really important to get this 100% right. We could maybe clean these up, but the mesh is very corroded from when this hull sank, so I think replacement's definitely the safest way to go. The next job was doing the water pump on John's AWB, the Australian workboat. It's been having some issues when it gets hot, but also the pump has been leaking around the seal, so time to fix that up.
So this is the seal. I can't see. There's a bit of,
So this is the mechanical water seal.
yeah, a little Jabsco. I can't see any like bad failure.
On the
There's no great
surfaces.
scorings or
Yeah.
chips or anything. But I think what's happened, there's a spring in here, which you can actually see. I know, I've got dirty fingers, people, and don't touch the seal, don't do this. We all know the rules. But you know what? Sometimes the rules are meant to be broken. So it has a spring in there.
Yeah, so if you push
So I'm,
down...
yeah. So I'm wondering, I'll put him back in the lucky bag.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
If the spring here hasn't collapsed,
Yeah, it's lost all its...
lost all its mojo,
Yeah, which explains the water leak.
water leaks, so no crush on the seal.
And the impeller had failed
Yep.
completely. Is it over there?
Is it? Yeah.
It's failed in multiple places.
Yep. So it goes to show you, like, this is 2 years old. It's a pretty important.
Yeah, and it's the original Jabsco one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, good. Where is the jumbo socket?
This one's probably...
I'll just play this one. Oh, look at that. Yep. You ready?
Yeah.
Put your finger in there.
Perfect.
Oh, not yet. Not all the way home, because you can't see the circle groove.
Yeah, right.
It's appearing. Now it is.
Big one first.
Big one first.
Pushing into
Pretty salubrious. Yep. So make sure you put these so they line up so when you get it apart next time it's easy to get them off.
As in the heads of the O-ring.
So, yeah, if they have to line up.
Shaft spins.
Yep. I just want to see if you're on any of these. You had to think about it for a minute, didn't you? See, fucking, that Adrian bloke is an arsehole.
Never kid a kidder.
No, that's it. So we're going to use the old seal at the front. Just, it's still soft. Just to help stop, we'll let oil pass. Obviously it's just not a tight fit. I don't need to have the other one at the front, but it just helps make sure it slows some of the oil down going through, so we don't end up with oil leak.
Do you want anything around the outside of that one?
I don't think so. I think you just sit there nicely. It's only just to help, just slow it down. I don't want gushes of oil running into it.
Yeah.
Like the water will just wipe all over it.
You reckon give it a couple of ugger-duggers?
Yeah, just like a
happens.
because they're only it's sort of like a locking nut anyway.
Yeah, I noticed it's a funny nut.
It's the cut, yeah, the
Sort of
cut.
castellated,
Yeah.
but not for a split pin.
Alright, go on. Hang on.
Rag.
Right, ready? Go. That's it.
The rebuilt Jabsco pump bolted onto the engine, no dramas. That engine is a Detroit Diesel 671. The first job for me the following morning was to get the new impeller into the outboard water pump so I could head over, meet Adrian, we could install that and then go and test John's boat and see if we could figure out what's going on with it.
Good morning. Today's job is just to put this new impeller in the gearbox, get it back on the boat. put some lower mounting bolts in, and then that's ready to launch. We can finish the rest on the water, you know, raft it up to Renko where the tools are. Given we're doing a bit more outboards again, I should make another lower unit stand one day. Interesting, this one has vanes going different ways. Don't know what was happening when this engine was stopped, but it hasn't been rotated since the gearbox came off, so a little bit weird. See, there's an O-ring seal around here. I don't have that O-ring, but it actually looks quite proud and quite healthy still. Couldn't get one, unfortunately. All I could get was the impeller. Given a few stock shortages at the moment, but we'll clean it all up and put it back together with the new impeller and the vanes all going the right way. Base plate looks alright too, which is good, given a service kit wasn't available. But really the main reason for doing this is just making sure that a perished impeller wasn't in here causing real problems down the track when fragments of it went up into the power head. So as long as we avoid that, I'm happy. We can always get a service kit down the track. Yeah, it's weird. I'd say it's been sitting this way for quite a while. It's really formed that shape. So I'm glad we're replacing it. Part number for the new one, for anyone interested. Just sliding up the slot with the woodruff key. Okay, just clean up the inside of the pump housing, and then just put a tiny smear of this Yamaha Grease A onto it. Tiny bit on this O-ring too. Pump outlet to the back. I just get a bit of light pressure then, rotate it clockwise, it's the way it goes, and it just bends all those impeller blades the right way. There's actually a bit of gunk in the threads. I might clean the bolts up with a brush first. It'd be nice to have a wire wheel on board. Might do that soon. We'll definitely put one on my mutt when it's a full workboat, that's for sure. Feel like James May cleaning the bolts. Yes, that's the way they should be. Very clean. Everything in order. Adrian calling.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, good mate, how are you?
Did the hardest breakdown in the world this morning.
Yeah, what was it?
A fuse.
Yeah, nice.
So we were just coming over the bridge now into Brooklyn.
Alright mate, I will come and grab you.
So you want to launch the tinny?
Maybe, I'm just finishing the gearbox now. I'm on Renko at the moment.
Finish that, we might have a coffee at the high tide.
Yeah, okay, I'll meet you at the cafe.
And then bring the gearbox, we'll launch the tinny, get it in the water.
Yeah, alright, I'll bring the gearbox with you and I'll see you at King Tide.
Yeah, righto. So that way then it's just another job done.
Totally, yeah.
Kicking boxes.
We are kicking goals at the moment.
Yeah.
Alright mate, I'll see you soon.
Alright, see you then, mate.
Bye. Oh, there we go. That's today organised. Adrian's already finished his breakdown. A fuse. You gotta love those wins. Some call for grease on these bolts, some actually go for Loctite. I'm actually just going to put a little bit of grease because I've never had them come undone, but I've certainly had them break and get stuck. While we're here, I think it's really worth looking at the impeller from that water pump. I found it interesting that these were facing in different directions. I thought maybe when it stopped one of them might have flipped, but looking closely you can see there's wear on the insides of both these. So it's actually obviously been running like this, which would significantly reduce the the efficacy of it. So interesting to see. I've never seen that before. That click you hear with the torque wrench is actually the pump housing cracking. No, I think we're safe. All right, let's go. All right, let's go back into Winnie the Punt. There's Steve's ferry, who we went and visited. We'll go see him again. Leaving Renko on John's mooring while we take
renowned for a bit of a run and see how it behaves when it gets up to temperature. Apparently it's got issues when it's up to temperature. It's not overheating, even though there was problems with the impeller. Anyway, we'll see what happens when it's warm. Here's the skipper, the Mohawk skipper. Watch out for that bridge. Yeah.
Hey Leo, it's for real this time. Pondering out.
Special message for Leo, we like that.
I've got the best excuse I've ever had today. The problem's so
All right, engine's off now. Noise is gone. We're going to start seeing if we can find any sort of air link in the fuel system. We're just going to take this return line off, and Adrian's trick is to just stick it into a bucket and see if we get bubbles. The bubbles we saw here, we think could be an artifact of it, you know, just aerating as it comes across the top of the sight tube. We don't know. Yeah,
There's fresh rust in there. It's not old rust.
What's it made out of?
It's a steel fitting,
Yeah, right.
so it can rust, but that's pretty fresh, watery rust.
And that's definitely got a few little burrs and scratches and things. So you think try and dress that surface or put a bit of sealant on that?
I'd put a bit of sealant on it.
Yeah, okay, just try.
Because I could put a flat spot into it and I'll be...
Yeah, it's worse than it's... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, more chance of making it worse than better.
Better, yeah. Come on, kick her in the guts, Baz.
Okie dokie.
Touch the blue wire onto the solenoid.
Yes, onto the top post.
Yeah, just above the nitrous button.
Yeah.
So, at the moment, there's not much air. Give it a rev, Stu. Bubbles starting to appear. Not a lot, but enough. There's a bit bubble there. Alright, hold it up. Why did it do that?
What's up?
Well, why did you stop it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you said turned off.
donkey. There is some, the more revs you start to bring up, the more it started to get bubbles in it.
Bubbles again.
So there should be no bubbles at
There
all.
should be really no bubbles. Just a good flow of fuel, which we had, and then it started to introduce a little bit of air as you brought the revs up.
Well, I reckon this is the thing, though. I reckon it's such a small amount, but do you think it's to the point where it starts to accumulate bubbles as he runs?
I think as over a period of time, yes.
Yeah, because he talks about it being fine until it's warm, but that doesn't mean it because the engine's warm. It just means because he's been running a long time. Do they feel loose at all?
Yeah, like I did nip them a bit. Yeah, like
okay.
That one's pretty loose.
Be interesting to see if that tube rotates there, because you could rotate that really easily before, couldn't you?
Yep. Yeah, it's better.
Wow. That's interesting.
That might have been...
That just spun so freely before.
Yeah. Still aeration with the fuel moving, but not anything coming out the end of the hose. No, there's nothing coming out the end of the hose now.
All right, we got a fraction of a turn on the fittings for the Raycore as well. Once you get to the pump, then you're on a pressure side, so you're more likely to have a fuel leak than be able to suck bubbles. But any bubbles that are sucked into the fuel before the pump will travel all the way through. I think we're going to be nibbling at this one. It's like you do a fix, you go, is it better?
Yes.
Well, you don't do a fix, you do a theory, test a theory.
Yep. Because we did see bubbles, and so I didn't see bubbles, so, but is that the problem?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know 100% sure.
Yep.
I'm not going to put my left nut on it.
No, exactly. But
maybe my right.
And the other thing is she's not breaking down. Like it'll stall at idle
Yeah.
after having run for at least an hour.
Yeah, so he'll sort of pull up, he'll idle up for 5 minutes, and then it'll just wind down.
Yeah, wind down, yeah.
So this filter here is obviously getting a head of air in it. So
Yeah, that's right. This was nowhere near full, was it?
So it's getting a head of air, so when it's not running at full speed, drawing enough fuel across the filter, the head of air becomes a little bit and it goes through and...
But if it sucks in at this height and out at the other height...
Sucks it in, down through the thing, up the outside, around the outside of the filter, back through the middle, and there's a tube that draws through.
So yes, this goes in to the inside of the filter. The outlet goes to the inside of the filter, and then up the tube.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
And there's a little ball in there, so as the bottom fills with water, it actually shuts off.
Shuts it off.
Which I saw the other day for the first time. A lot of people pull those balls out and go in the bin. Bad idea. The water come up and shut it off and protected the engine from the water.
Saved it from getting water through the injectors.
So, that was a fellow viewer's boat, but yes.
Very good.
Young Patrick.
Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea of what Adrian and I get up to during the week when we're working on the boats. Each week obviously is very different, but a lot of the time it does involve bouncing between a couple of jobs in parallel because of parts availability or different stages and diagnosis, that kind of thing. But we've both been enjoying it. It's working really well having tools on Renko and being able to get to these jobs and work in the field rather than needing to take boats to the workshop. And that's actually been really nice. Particularly now summer's coming, we're into spring here, so I think it's going to be, you know, a really enjoyable way to work on boats in the coming months. All right, well, take care and we'll catch you next week. See ya. Going to the bar for a drink. Uh-oh. There goes the neighbourhood. Don't you worry about him. He's getting closer. Uh-oh. Here's his buddy. Welcome to the jungle. You're just going to work your way down the tree a few inches at a time, are you? Coming down. You're pretending to come down. Well, you're coming down pretending you're not. Chaos will ensue. Quick, Daisy. Eat what's left while you can. Too late. bad boys are in town. Oh, even the lorikeets gonna go them. Lorikeets are funny. They're the smallest and the most aggressive. Oh dear. Goes to show. It's not the bird in the fight, it's the fight in the bird. Speaking of which, you're definitely the chickens.